This production comes from real, authentic stories from our very own students here at UVA. These stories are true. They're not made up. They're made of student writers who compose these monologues. And with that being said, there are going to be some moments that you identify with, and feel free to clap, say amen when we take you to church. And there are going to be some moments that you disagree with, and you don't identify with. And when you get in your feelings, I need you to sit there and take them. So, if a piece hits home, let it, feel it, ride it. And with that being said, can everyone take out their cell phone? We're going to take a moment. We're going to take a selfie for Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, because you know I look good. So, if we can all power down our cell phones, because they are not a part of this show. And with that being said, welcome to the Black Monologues.
I come from tambourines inside of bronze villages, smothered in history and gravy, hugged by my mother, kissed by my nanny, and taught by the man.
I come from a cornfield ghetto. I come from line survivors. I come from a single-parent home. From the age of Rugrats, Codename Kids Next Door, and the
human being. Where being is more than the human meaning.
I come from the
canyon of love, golden retrievers, long hikes and
trapped in a gorge of pernicious insults and patronization.
I come from
a no man's land of inconsistent ideologies and excruciating isolation.
From baked mac and cheese to the secret ingredient no one who's not my blood can know.
I come from singing, aka screaming, Lisa and the Cult Jam song. I come from science fiction movies and superhero TV shows. From two Christmases, one on Thursday time, and we know not to kill smelling some white mom and a black dad, where I'm the only thing they have in common.
I come from a place of many cultures.
Side of the Atlantic, where my mother never learned to swim. I come from black soul.
Rednecks and country music to ghetto country children and hip hop. I come from a place of many languages. English, American, Ebonics, Spanish, French, Japanese, Korean, Mandarin. I come from the heart of humanity, pumping life-sustaining tolerance to all the arteries of society.
From the three-door garage invasion of the town of Singapore, everything. I come from the temptation of good and bad, but I also come from high school.
Stories that my classmates
the library
but my son did
where I am now. I come from a broken family, and I come from a family full of love. I come from a place where everyone knows my name, where everybody struggles to leave, a dead end, a cul-de-sac. And I come to start with you.
Joy when my mom told me about my scholarship. I remember thanking God. I remember how short the praise was, how quickly a more sinister thought came into my mind. I wish I could have held on to that first moment of joy longer. I remember tweeting about it. I know it was because on Twitter people would be less likely to respond. I remember keeping it inside me. I remember my secret. I remember the conflicting feeling of joy and anger. I remember smiling wide when I'd rather hide after my friend Scarlett announced it to the class. I remember scanning the faces of my classmates, feeling like I could read minds because I knew what was on theirs. I can still hear the words clear in my mind. It's only because you're black.
I remember my crew first year. All different colors, shapes, and sizes. I remember us 4 girls, black, white, and Korean. I remember the look of that frat boy, his snarl barely hidden underneath his beard. I remember the sounds of alcohol spilling on frat house doorsteps as a portrait of Jefferson Davis shook. I remember not being let in. I remember walking down Rugby Road searching for the other few black and brown faces and asking where they were going. I remember us minorities staying close. I remember finding a party further down the road, and I remember still feeling uncomfortable, although this time I was let in. I remember shaking my head no politely when I was offered alcohol. I remember the way my flats stuck to the dance floor. I remember that god-awful country music assaulting my ears. I remember how they had fun. I remember them dancing on rooftops and throwing couches from the sky. They are powerful. They are the white gods of UVA.
I remember sitting in the back left corner of the room, inconspicuous, indeterminate. I remember gripping the jaundice-toned hand of my roommate, somewhat safe, somewhat belonging, somewhat. I remember students my year at the front of the room, students who held a microphone with strong, steady grip as my burrito nearly slipped out of my unsure hand. I remember mentions of black ball. I remember to my right, she leans in, she whispers, she giggles, "Isn't that a little racist?" I remember giggling back, rolling my eyes, sailing down the smooth, easy river of betrayal, obviously. I remember questions. I remember questions about Stokely Carmichael that I couldn't answer. I remember questions about SNCC that I couldn't answer. I remember questions about those 4 little girls with their tight little 4C curls that I couldn't answer. I remember questions about myself, about my people that I couldn't answer.
I remember the fellow UVA student who came up to me on grounds and asked me about it. I remember how he had a higher GPA than me, higher SAT scores. I remember the way my face flushed when he said, "I'm just wondering why you got it and I didn't." I remember when "it's because I'm black" was the first thought that came to my mind. I know my grades were great. I know I wrote excellent essays. I know I deserved what I got, but somehow I still feel like I didn't. I remember in class when someone asked what affirmative action was, and some girl gestured to me and said, he knows all about that. I know I rolled my eyes. I remember her calling me an asshole. I remember feeling angry at her for voicing the opinion everyone else was thinking. I remember wishing that I could find a blind stranger and tell him of my accomplishments, because I know that that would be the only time I wouldn't fear what they were thinking. I know I deserved what I got, but that feeling
hasn't gone away. Then I remember a question, the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. I remember my father and his black kinara. I remember Nia, purpose. I remember Kuchidagulia,
self-determination.
And I remember Umoja,
unity.
I remember sudden warmth. I remember teeth against lips pulled back, raucous laughter, burrito-full mouths. I remember scooting closer, feeling infected, feeling swallowed whole by this blackness, this enveloping shade, this community, this oneness. I remember feeling like me. I remember feeling like myself, as me in my skin. I remember blackness. I remember love. I remember blackness.
It always kills me when people ask why I came to UVA. I came here to be different. I came here to go to school on grounds, not campus. I came here to be addressed by year, not class. I came here to rack up $200,000 in loans to follow my dream undergraduate experience. Fuck no. I'm here because of Access UVA.
Tell them.
I did my research. I cannot begin to recount the hours I spent scouring out the schools with the best financial aid. Thank God for that need-based scholarship. Read submit your forms. Are you sure you only have $6.45? Positive. And I came from 800 miles away. But I would not call my experience broken. My family worked with the means, and here I am today at UVA. I mean, I definitely paid the price for this decision. It's not like my parents can fly me back home whenever. Can you imagine the look on my face after getting off that 24-hour train ride from Charlottesville to Chicago? And imagine your mom is 2 hours late to picking you up. And that you live 2 hours away from Union Station. Needless to say, I'll probably go back home twice a year. It's the circumstances I was given, but I'm not defined by my circumstances. Coming from no money means the stakes are elevated. That's all. I'm here because my mom doesn't deserve to have to work for the rest of her life. Being thrown into parenthood at 16, she's been the main provider for the entirety of my siblings' lives. I'm not here just for my sake. I'm here to make sure my family is taken care of. And to make sure that my little brothers never have to go on that 30-hour commute home.
Good evening, y'all. I said good evening. Good evening. It's your girl, Miss Black UVA. Applause. On this week's edition of No Nonsense Negritude, we have our very own Black Survival Guide. And listen up closely, especially you first years out there, because you won't find this one on the UVA Class of 2019 Facebook page. Okay? So here we go. The official Black Survival Guide. Number 1, learn the art of fake laughter. Let me give you some examples. When your white roommates, Jen and Trish, when the topic of real diversity comes up. Can I get it? Laugh. When the professor of your 200-person Lily White lecture asks of you all to sing Amazing Grace, the Southern Black way. Laugh. And laugh hard. Number 2. Hug Miss Kathy. Always hug Miss Kathy. And I'm not talking about, the white girl nearly touching you kind of, oh my God. I'm talking about something real. Sunday dinner with your family type of hug, something real. Because Miss Kathy is one of the realest people at Mr. Jefferson's University. Number 3, do not, and I mean do not, take your shoes off in a public setting for any reason. And I'm talking to you. There's flip-flops in November. I know your mom did not drive you 5 hours to the school so you could frolic around like some new age hippie. That brings me to number 4. Don't streak. Oh wait, hold on, did I read this? Yeah, don't streak. Don't do it. Number 5, go to Mel's and Wayside. Yeah, King's is good, but there's nothing better than supporting black business, am I right? Number 6, go to black parties. Always go to black parties and start saving up your dollars now because it's you know, right? It's $5 for Greeks and $10 for non-Greeks. And hit up the top 20 hip hop and R&B chart because you don't want to be a Caitlyn when you can be a Charmaine. Number 7. Know what to do in class discussion. Know exactly when to tell somebody to pipe down. When did you, Bob George, 3rd generation legacy student of Mr. Jefferson's University, become any authority on the black experience of today? Just because you took an African American studies course does not mean you get to talk. Shut up. Number 8, get your hair done. A tight relationship with your hairstylist in Charlottesville, or go all the way to Nova and find yourself a barber, a braider, a weave-tician, a lock-tician, whatever you need to keep your stuff fresh. Just because Caitlyn can run around in the rain with the shower cap on. That does not mean you can look unkempt in physics class. Number 9. Don't go running at night. Don't do it. Don't do it. I understand being black and carefree. I get it. But you know, which is a little bit better. Being black and alive. Being black and breathing. Save your nightly miles for the AFC. Not for when Officer Gibson's latest vivid description comes out of tall, black, athletic build. Number 10. Stay true to your own damn self. Don't let these fools around here get you twisted about who you really are. Yes, you are black and beautiful, goddammit. Know it. Own it. But who am I? I'm just Miss Black UVA. With too much time on my hands and too much lip on my mouth. I'm out.
remember a moment when JJ's barbershop wasn't live. But just to call it a barbershop would be missing its function to the community. The shop is fluid. It can be a forum for professional sports. Don't get me started on all the time that I've lost waiting for the MJ versus LeBron debate to run its due course. You can also get spotty relationship advice from men who want to revive their youth. It's also a safe place for entrepreneur shit. Black enterprise. Make sure you guys support Black business. Give your barber a tip. Black people tip. And make sure you guys get the guy that comes in every Wednesday trying to unload his apple pie moonshine and chance. You see, we're all there with one of two goals. Either to get a haircut or to cut hair. And you've got a few options. You can do the usual wait for JJ, and boy, do I mean wait this minute. He's good for putting a 90-minute delay on your day. But there's a reason why his chair is weightless. You see, he has the gifts of a surgeon, engineering close-cut tapers with the same hand. Now, I don't know what JJ. He eats too much. Right. As consistent as Troy. He has slightly buggy eyes and a distinct croaking voice, but it invites conversation. He's the only one I trust with my time and my hair. You see, we built up a trust rapport with each other. I hardly have to tell him how I want to cut, and he'll be the only one to cut my hair. All right, guys. Something you gotta remember. Never betray your barber. It's good to keep it consistent because it'll keep grown-ass men from getting in their feelings the one time you didn't have the time to wait on the two heads in front of you. Don't let today be the day you go to another chair. I mean, niggas will cheat on their girl before they cheat on their body. Our hair is our identity. We care about how crisp the line is, how well blended the fade is, how defined the parts are. I remember when my white classmates didn't understand that a haircut didn't have to be more than 3 inches. Now I'm on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, seeing white people just discovering traditionally Black hairstyles and cornrows. Cornrows, this ain't the early 2000s. Like a modern day Columbus.
I explained to an entire house that it's not just a little rain. My sorority sisters always sweep up the hair in the bathroom after I finish my twists. They told me it's because they don't want to leave a mess, but you don't see them ever getting up in a tizzy when Jen, or Sylvia, or Allie, or Raina leaves all that mad and mess in the shower. Or when Jen's hair ends up in my textbook. Oh no, Keisha's cup full of afro curls find a home on the bathroom floor, and suddenly we want to start cleaning up after each other. Helping a sister out. Yes, they do refer to me as the sister. The sister with 23 white sorority sisters. 23 white sorority sisters who asked me to teach them the Quan. 23 white sorority sisters who asked me why there's olive oil in the bathroom, but none in the kitchen. Who asked me to give them a cornrow or, excuse me, a French twist. Well, listen, sisters, Keisha got her own hairdo. Can't always be helping Chelsea before the date function when you know it takes me a couple hours to get my hair right. Honey. So, sweep on in the bathroom after I finish my twists. Over there, Kayla. Oh, Stephanie, you missed a spot. At this point, I just appreciate having my own personal maids. 23 white maids. I figure it can be a small note of payback for 400 plus years of colonialism, slavery, neocolonialism, and that aggressive European beauty standard. But you know, it's not payback for those damn red strands that stay in my pad bag. How the hell did your hair end up in my bag, Jen? Did it follow me to Newcomb? Jen? Did it literally look both ways before it crossed the street, waiting patiently for the other redheaded fool with too much time in his hands to hold the door open for me? And then, once I waited too long for some fries and a chicken sandwich, it just ain't nobody in the sorority house got hair as long as yours. Disrespectful. But it's okay though. We're cool, because see this stretch twist out? Ain't it nice? Yes. I managed to comb my hair out real good. Just for you.
It's not like it's not heavy.
Guys, the most upsetting thing happened to me when I was outside the day yesterday.
I was just waiting in line, minding my own business, when I noticed this drunk guy walking up the street. Well, more like when I smelled the alcohol to my left.
So I'm standing in line next to this cop directing travel when I see this random dude up ahead lose his balance and fall onto a police car parked nearby.
So the officer turns around and sees the guy passed out, not on the ground, but literally on the car.
I'm thinking he's gonna vomit all over the driver's window, when instead he pushes himself up off the car to hold up his stance when
I shit you not! This dude yanks the car door open and hops his drunk ass into the car, Grand Theft Auto style. All while the officer is watching.
Then he starts messing with the dashboard.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I looked over at the cop and then he started to run up to the car.
Hell yeah! I tell my group to hold my spot. I get out of line, grabbing my phone, yelling,
I can already see the headlines officer and unarmed male on the internet, but I was not trying to see them in person.
Oh my gosh, it wasn't looking good.
Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't have enough storage on my phone to record the video, so I started deleting shit to make it up.
The sirens are blaring, there's some guy yelling World Star. The cop is trying to unlock the door when the kid grabs the intercom and starts yelling.
Wah 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 wah! UVA Virginia! Hooray! UVA!
So the cop he out of his pocket and he unlocks the door.
He puts his hand on his belt and starts glaring at the kid. It looked like it was gonna get ugly.
We know how cops handle these situations. So I maneuvered the money shot that would go viral in hours.
He demands the kid to get out of the car. Now!
The kid almost falls out of the car. The cop bends over, grabs him by the shoulders, stands him up, and then
nothing. I couldn't believe my eyes.
The cop started laughing hysterically.
He tells the boy, "What are you doing, man? You're gonna miss the game."
Are you kidding me?
This is unreal.
I was so pissed.
No video.
No screaming.
No video.
Had it been me, I'd be the next hashtag flooding your newsfeed with images of my battered body.
Had it been me, shit, I don't know, man.
Had it been me, I would have at least gotten somebody to record it. This shit ruined my entire video. All I got was footage of two white guys laughing together. Do I look like a family historian? Like I want to record your family videos? Do you know how many memories I deleted to record this shit?
Had it been me,
Had it been me,
Had it been me,
had it been me,
Life is a typical story, nothing short of ordinary. Matter of fact, I would say that it started extraordinary. Scene, 17-year-old girl, senior year of high school, she's knocked up. Bright as a whistle, yet still managed to hide her belly for 6 months. Dear Lord, I'm grateful that you gave this boy a chance. Dear mama, how you got yourself in this circumstance. Scholarships turn to child support. Mother, father, family court, stuck in the middle. Now there I was, Shaunn Malik Warmuth. Kid almost as weird as his name. Would only write and play video games, read, write, and work his brain. He had tons of creativity, but his sense of self-identity was definitely at a deficit. Check me out. I first noticed it, my mom walked with me and my little sister. At first it was mostly implicit, stares and whispers. Until one day, this veil of ignorance, no, I should say innocence, was first ripped from my eyes when my elementary school teacher literally called me a mutt. I wasn't offended at first, didn't really get it. Went home and told my mom what she said and even made her boyish rough. And she's like, oh hell nah, that's enough. And she went straight to the school and made that lady look like a damn fool. She came back home. 2nd grade, yeah, I guess it's about time to get real. See son, America's history is really messed up. Back in the day, black people were slaves, but even till today, there is still hate. White mom, no pop, I am my own riddle. White mom, light skin, stuck in the middle. Now here I am. Who are you? Bro, you can't ball. Man, you nerdy as fuck. Nigga, you barely even speak, you try to fit in? I hate that word. But if I never say it back, someone's sure to think I'm rejecting my own self. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes and open your mind. The status quo is pollution and the smog has made you blind. A man in this matrix was killed for merely having a dream. I'm here, it seems, to tear the thin veneer, a separation by the seams. Black and white aren't as different as they may seem. One world, one species, one life. So that must mean that we are all stuck in the middle.
The Edigras symbols belonging to the Asante people teach us what we know. Love deeply, trust each other, and face the sea as you leave it for fear of being swallowed whole. My people taught me what I know. Be the impossible, open your arms up to uncertainty, and feel with the force of a pestle grounding mortar. But for a while now, I've been wondering whose flag I wave. The black stars still rest over my chest when my family and I scream at the television for that winning goal. I run as fast as my legs can carry me when I hear the sound of popping oil preparing to fry sweet gelewele in a large pan my mom should be using for stir fry. I know every word to the song, God Bless Our Homeland Ghana, and I sing it proudly every 6th of March. But for a while now, I skip the OAS meetings for BSA tailgates. For a while now, I write black and not African. For a while now, I say where I'm from and not where I'm from. I don't know whether to yell when I see you wearing those dashikis from Urban Outfitters, or to plead that you remember the kente weavers in Banri who spend all day at the loom sewing both of our ancestries with patient fingers. Know your family, honor it. Maybe that will help me understand where I fit in. Because you won't let me have both. The Enigma symbols teach us what we know. They teach us Sankofa, reach back and get it. Do not forget your past, do not forget who you are, do not forget yourself. Do not forget that your shadow casts across continents into the hearts of our kind in every imagination polka dotting the world with black, marking each culture. Abatampa or Asabraki, watermelon or wache, with a love so deep that it tattoos on our back the feeling that we all have a place with Mama Africa. I just met her a little sooner, that's all. I will not allow you to let me choose, but I'm buying a plane ticket home soon. My family misses me. You come too.
You look good today. To wake up. Wait, is someone picking up
my message on this morning is stay in your lane.
I know that song.
Literally. Stay in your lane, white boy.
Oh.
Yeah. Look,
How can we do this now?
I've had hard. I worked on one. Had 2 symptoms. Back to back. Somebody say back to back. Back to back. And now I'm just trying to get home.
I know that's right.
Where I'm the already. And my residents, they need me. And I'm walking on my side of the sidewalk, but here you come. All 6 feet of you looking at me like I am invisible. I'm just 5 feet of the pavement in front of me. For 40 days and 40 nights. Daily with you people. I jump out of the way at the last second. Bring my ankle trying to come around with you. And never now and then. Nowhere to go. Neither you and your frat brothers form a bay race. That, my friends,
What is that?
is white privilege. The opposite side of the streets, when other people are coming in the other direction and not feeling obligated to move out of common courtesy.
This ain't coming no more, Pastor.
You simply wait for a collision because you know, in the end, there won't be one. The other person will jump out of the way at the last second. And y'all know what?
Okay.
They do the same thing about race. No race discussions because you just won't keep pushing on in the wrong direction and honestly, can I be honest, Trevor?
influence tonight. Y'all want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
All right. I don't know whose idea it was to smoke weed in the cemetery on Halloween night, but man, it was a dumb one. Let me tell y'all something, man. The first year struggle to find a safe place to get high was real. And, you know, we was low on options. So me and my friends head to the cemetery, and as we approach the gate, we hear what can only be described as freakish animal-sounding noises. I wouldn't have been surprised to go around the corner and see a cult doing a chicken blood ritual the way it is. To be honest. See, for the average person, that would be enough to merit to stay the hell away from the cemetery. But you see, the average person has common sense. I didn't that night. So, we approach the graves. Feet planted into the fresh moist earth as the earth was passing me. Deep inhale of the smoke, exhaled all my worries, and then came the coffee. Woo, I'm trying to tell you, that's some grade A herb. A few minutes later, we're all definitely at a higher state of being. And we ready to head on back home. Toss the ocean to the piece of black grass and proceed to the hill. But then, stop. See the beam of light coming from the bottom of the hill. Holy shit, UFO! Just the first high thought to dawn upon me. A few moments later, it registered. Oh man, the police caught us. So, you know, I instantly panicked. Oh, I hope I don't have the weed on me. Went through my mental library, the itinerary of the weed. I'm probably going. See, this anxiety and panic couldn't last for too much longer, because this police officer damn sure knew how to blow my high. He walks up to us, and the first sly comment to come out of his smug face was, "What y'all boys doing here? What team y'all play for?" I'm gonna tell all your coaches. I stood there in high disbelief. What team I play for? The Jets team? I'm not mad at him for doing his job. Obviously, we're not supposed to do that. Marijuana is bad for you, and I in no way condone doing that sort of thing. But one thing I will not tolerate is him to insinuate that the only reason I could be on these grounds is for my knee cartilage. And then came the lies. So, you know, I'm not trying to be the next hashtag, so I'm over here saying my yes sirs, no sirs, saying my book bag. Search through my book bag. Guess what we found, y'all? Books. Pulls out a mini flashlight that I probably had since like high school. So now he decides it's good to search inside his flashlight, right? So he opens up the flashlight. Now, guess what he found inside the flashlight, y'all? Batteries. Right? Exactly. No, he didn't find batteries. Batteries was in there though. He didn't find dust. Dust was in there too. Guess what he found, y'all? Guess what he imagined it?
Flex of marijuana. Wait. Flex of marijuana.
Flashlight. Like, come on, man. At this point, your attempt to frame me is just sad. Just pathetic. Like, if you were a real police officer, you would have at least caught us in the act of smoking and therefore possession of marijuana. But nah, you don't seem to be a protector of Charlottesville to me. To me, you just seem like one of the countless people I encountered in my life that can't look past their own biases. The only difference is you have a badge. I'm sorry, y'all. I think I'm gonna need another one after this one.
Black culture does not promote violence, I say. Black culture does not promote violence. Hidden behind the culture of privilege, of tradition, of anonymity, they respond. White culture is why you're here and not swatting flies in Africa. You're welcome. I want to cower. I want to go home and hide under my comforter, bask in the shadows, and forget my skin for a while. I want to know what it is to walk into the world and be praised for a tan instead of shamed for a trait. What it is to take up 2 seats on the subway. I want to know what it is to shop outside of the black hair section at CVS. What it is to walk into a store and not be questioned, not be followed, not be a suspect. I want to know what it is to turn off the TV after seeing a dead body in the streets. What it is to have to quell the swell in my chest when my little sister asks me if I've ever been called a nigger with a white R. I want to be human. I am human, and I say, and I stand up and I say defiantly, black culture is rich, golden like the sun that makes our skin glow, that makes you seethe with jealousy, makes you create empires built upon looking like us. Black culture is visceral. It is here. It is ever-changing. It is ever-growing. It is our identity. It defines us. It is you. It is me. It is us.
Bad night? Let me tell you about my night, okay? So I'm all dolled up in my sexy Little Red Riding Hood costume, and I'm looking like beyond words, hot as hell. And so I go to my door, and he's just standing there. At first, I think he's a ghost. And I think to myself, wow, what a lame costume. But then I start to process it. The way the sheet was pointed at the tip. The different layers. The cross in his hand. He came to my door dressed in a KKK costume. At first I just stared at him in shock. And then he starts laughing. So I start screaming at him, like really going in on him. And it must have been pretty loud because one of the RAs who was on coverage, she came down to see what was wrong. And she saw us and she said, shit. Because she knew that this wasn't going to be an easy problem to solve. And so tonight I have a meeting with my SR. I can't even believe that he would do that. You think I'm overreacting? He came to my room dressed in a KKK costume. The KKK, the Ku Klux Klan. Just a joke? Do you know the meaning of a joke? I'm guessing you don't, so let me break it down for you. A joke is supposed to be funny. And there was nothing funny about this white man at this predominantly white institution coming to my door. My door in which I am the only black girl who stays there. And he just waited for me. He didn't even knock. How long do you think that he was just waiting there?
uncontrollably when I see him. It's not nearly as bad as it was second year. A lot of the panic has turned into rage, a white-hot anger inside when I see him. So I'll try to tell this story best I can. It was a normal party night on Rugby Road. Students were emerging from their pre-games. Houses were filling up quickly with partygoers, including myself. My friend had invited me to his fraternity, so I went. And when I got there, the first thing I noticed were the class pictures. Pledge class photos of the past 30 years. And I searched the last one for my friend's face. And there he was, third row, the only black guy in the fraternity. A few hours went by, and things were going well until confrontation stumbled through the door. Two stocky frat brothers on the wrestling team barged into the home. Their eyes blurry, their words slurred, and their egos unchecked. They came in throwing glass beer bottle after glass beer bottle, the floor coated in glass and foam. And to say the least, I was nervous. And then things escalated. Quickly, the two started arguing, and their argument turned physical. My friend pled with them to stop, please, just stop. But his pleas only incited more angry pushing and shoving, until the larger brother sized up my friend, cocked his arm back, and delivered a punch straight at his jaw. He was just on the ground, flailing in pain, clasping his dislocated jaw. And that's when I lost it. That is when I lost it. I ran up to the two, frantically pleading with them, help your brother out, take him to the hospital, shit, at least apologize. But my pleas only angered the other brother, because he quickly got physical with me, barging up into my space as if I were another wrestler on the mat, and then pop! I try to process what this noise was. And then my lip started stinging. My tongue felt the groove where my front tooth was supposed to be. And then I realized this fucker just sucker punched me. How did he think that this was okay? How did he think that he was going to get away with this? So I called the cops. They got there and I told them exactly what happened. And they asked for his name. I don't know his name. So I gave him a description. White guy, bright colored polo shirt, khaki pants. He writes all of this down before he says, good luck finding him. That sounds like everyone at UVA. So I did some police work of my own. I found the guy on Facebook. I called the officer back. I showed him the profile. I told him what fraternity he was in. And he wrote this down while saying, I'll look into it. And if you can guess, nothing happened to the guy. He didn't have to face the consequences of his actions. I wonder what it would be like to have a different end to my story. One that ends in justice. One that ends in fairness. One that ends with my tooth still in my gums and his get out of jail free card revoked. to our stories. These are the endings to our stories.
Whoa. Everybody, hold on a second. Take it easy. I want you all to close your eyes and take a long, deep breath. When you inhale friends, private school, and orchestra concerts. When you exhale AAU teammates, family reunions, and parents' CDs. When you inhale patronization, isolation, and microaggressions. When you exhale mockery, isolation, and sexual slurs.
What makes a man?
What happens to a dream deferred?
Why don't you hang out with us?
Why don't you hang out with us?
Can I touch your hair?
Hey, bro, let me do your edge up, man.
You listen to classical?
You listen to 50 Cent?
Who and what are you?
Who and what are you?
Why don't you hang out with us?
Inhale, exhale, over and over and over. Scholarship, college. Whew. You graduate high school and you want it to all just go away.
Welcome to
Welcome
You think you're so smart, don't you?
You don't sound black.
Is your mom white?
He's so smart, man.
About Mississippi goddamn and black is the color of my true love's hair. She told us that Miss Simone didn't bend for nobody, would rather sacrifice her career than be what people wanted her to be. We all snapped and murmured in approval, reminisced about kissing full lips and feeling black love. I'm nothing like Nina. Black is the color of my true love's hair, but it has remnants of purple from the time she called me, crying at 2:37 a.m., begging me to help her find something to love about herself. I drove her to CVS, her holding her left hand around her middle, and me holding her right hand in mine, both of us squeezing as tightly as we could to make sure she didn't disintegrate. I keep her hand in mine as we search with frantic fingers for a purple bright enough to show up in her hair, but not so garish that she would scare herself more than she already does when she looks in the mirror. I find one, passionately purple. She smiles at me, and I know I have to kiss her. The cashier looks at us in the way people always do. Those eyes that convey shock, anger, fear, disgust. Those eyes that say, how dare you be black and queer? How dare you? I asked myself the same question as I finished paying and dragged her out of there. The girl I love. The girl I need to save. When we get back home, she takes a dye and kneels on the bathroom's white tile floor, head tilted over the rim of the bathtub's basin, for me to rinse her hair, the way our moms did when we were little girls. As I work the dye through her hair, rivulets of violet-tinted water drip down the sides of her face, diluted by her tears. I love you. I say, careful not to trap my fingers in the thick mess that she never lets me comb. That'll never be enough. She says, loud enough for me to hear it, but quiet enough for it to still hurt. And I know she's right. That I'll never be able to take her to church without her grandmama having a heart attack. That I'll never be able to make her swallow the pills she hides underneath her tongue. That I'll never be able to sing her Miss Simone's love songs. An hour later, her hair's purple. She's still crying. And as I hold her, I realize we don't know each other. And we never will.
You know how I know? There's an apple festival where I'm from. Yep, apples. We harvest them, we celebrate them, and then we have a whole festival devoted to them. Where my parents are from, there's the apple factory, the little black Baptist church on the corner of the road, and the 7-Eleven where my grandpa used to hang out with his pickup truck. We have the Sugar Grove Diner, the market, the John Deere store, and that is it. Now, I'm not saying I grew up in poverty. I grew up in the suburbs. Granted, the suburbs where I live got a whole lot of black folk milling around. But then, we go and visit my grandparents in the country ghetto. Have you ever seen their eyes when watching God? Yeah. That's where we from. And I gotta tell you, when you're from a place like that, and you go to a school like this, holidays are hard. You and your cousin, who were best friends growing up, are wrenched apart. You used to get praised for making straight A's, and asked what you learned in school that day. One day you realized people don't know what you were talking about, so they stopped asking. And your cousin, who goes to college to play football at Wisconsin, he gets all the love. We pass around his championship ring at dinner instead of a plate of sweet potatoes. We talk about his games, play by play, but when you try to mention your acceptance into a distinguished major program, the conversation wilts like collards when they hit the hot pan. And just like that, we rewind. And we're all back on the sidelines of these games. Now listen, I'm not mad at you, baby. I couldn't be prouder of you. You're doing the damn thing. And you're closer to our dream of having a joint spread on Ebony magazine than I am. You've been worthy. You've carried trophies above your head. You've won championships. You've seen your dreams come true. The dreams you used to tell me about when you were little. I'm gonna be pulling trophies because I'm gonna be the champ. Back when we were the same two kids in the same cornfield trying to escape the same reality. But I've seen my dreams too. And I've met my heroes. I've become bilingual, trilingual, if you count code as another tongue. I will wear the honors of honor and graduate from the University of Virginia. I've written my story, but why can't my family read it?
because
We don't know each other.
You see that green bag over there? No, over there. The one that says Cat Laundry? Yeah, that one. That's mine. I know what you're thinking. It's expensive, I know. Sometimes I try to hide it. I try to sneak it up the stairs so that no one will see. So that no one will see that I can afford it. Sometimes I try to sneak around the rhythm of my words so that my brothers and sisters won't ignore them. Does it bother you that I pay someone else to do the things that you struggle for? Does my privilege offend you? Am I not domestic enough? Do you think that I'm out of touch or that I just don't get it? Okay, the bag is bright green. It's hard to keep a secret. They soak and scrub and rinse, but that's just my clothes. My melanin remains intact. So today, I made a decision. Today, I decided to stop dodging your judgment. Today, I decided that hiding it is stupid. Hi, my name is Mary, not Shaniqua. My dad went to Penn Law, not to prison. I own a golden doodle, not a pit bull. I was one of 2 black kids in my lily white, private, prestigious high school. I had never worked a job in my life. My housekeeper's name is Rachel. I go to the University of freaking Virginia and I don't do my own laundry because I don't have to.
Oh, you got money!
Yeah, I do actually, and you're just gonna have to get over it. And you can say what you want. Go ahead. She's bougie, she's mean, she's one of those elitist niggas. Girl, bye. Newsflash to all of you scholars out there, blackness and poverty are not synonymous. Don't define my negritude. Downy doesn't inhibit my ability to be down. If you can't look past my privilege into the ebony struggles seated deep within my melanin, then where I get my clothes washed should be the least of your concerns. If you're offended by Tide, then screw you. And shout out to Sally and Mammy and Eliza Betty Mae tonight who worked those washboards for generations on end so that I wouldn't have to. Shout out to all y'all searching for quarters on the side of the road, but my laundry service is not a sin. Lord, forgive me, for I have succeeded. You have no idea who I am. You don't know me. And we don't know each other.
Man, they got all kinds of black people here. City blacks that ain't never seen a cornfield a day in their life. Athletes as tall as rotunda pillars. Hell, I even saw a black hippie. She was walking around barefoot. No shoes. Stepping up and down the lawn like a black leprechaun. As soon as I saw that, I wanted to come back on the Greyhound bus, but I bought my return ticket for Sunday, so fall fling is a trip. Okay. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell nope is.
Like they always do at UVA. I get up 6:30 in the morning and throw down 3 or 4 plates of team breakfast. I'm eating all the calories I can in order to get through practice and contact drills. Not to mention the hours spent studying film with Coach London. Then we hit the weight room. And if we're too injured to lift, we get treated by the team trainers. Then come classes. The one-on-one tutoring sessions. The academic advisors watching my GPA to make sure I'm eligible to play. If we won't play, then UVA won't pay. See, that's how these scholarships work. It's what comes with being a Division I athlete. There's no time to waste. The play clock is always counting down. So being a student athlete is about focus. When we're lined up third and goal in enemy territory, we don't have time to hear the crowd noise. We can't let it get to us. That's why our helmets are only made to show us what's in front. Now, there is a time when we're not on the field and when we're not in class. But I'm unsure if my teammates know this. It's as if they never take off their helmets after practice, filtering out the rest of the world issues that affect us. We're confusing social issues with crowd noise, blocking it all out like spam in our university emails. It's a belief that these shoulder pads protect us from the immense weight that falls on black shoulders. But our linemen can't block racial profiling. Our wideouts can't catch a break. Our running backs can't outrun a police bullet. No matter what we produce on the field, we will always be subjected to disadvantages because of the color of our skin. Can't they see that the school cares about what they do on the field because of the revenue that it generates? Much like the overseer care about the cotton produced by the field niggas! But who wants to think about that? So we stick to our huddle, focusing on the field, blocking out the crowd noise, the loud noise of black protest, the hammering thuds of a failing justice system, the war cries of an improper education system. Until then, it'll be a while before we bring home a team victory. Ready, fight!
Master Jefferson, I know of my university. Do you know of yours? I built this university and now have a few bricks named after me, yet you still only value me if I'm an athlete. I cannot relieve these worries from my head because it is all I see ahead. I read the curriculum and still became a victim. Quick, summons to the corner with a nondescript description given from Officer Gibbons. Report suspicious Africanity. Suspect black 5'4" through 6'4", belonging in a jail cell or 6 feet under. Someone get them the hell away from Master's Rotunda. I'm tired of being walked upon like these very streets I paved, land of the free where I was enslaved and still told to behave. Master Jefferson, I know of your America. Do you know of mine? You wrote the Declaration of American Sovereignty. Don't you dare say independence. It depended on hypocrisy. Obsolete was the language of the enslaved anguish who worked the homes, fields, swamps, and banquets. American soul is innocence to the highest bidder on the auction blocks where they had invented the nigger. Master Jefferson, your America is flawed. Domestic terrorism wears uniform. This justice system is just a system. America whitewashes broken history and bleaching mythology, one in which emancipation meant the end of black oppression, one in which Eli Whitney invented the copyright and called it the cotton gin, one in which we can't breathe when we get oxygen. I wonder why so many black people's last name's Washington. America is the byproduct of exploitation. Nuclear waste that has yet to decay a half-life. This poisonous matter is buried deep into the foundation of America, begging for attention, and now I ask, do I have yours? Do I have yours?
dollars. I'm pretty broke, so that's all I have right here. $10. 40 gumballs, 10 McChickens, 2 footlongs, 1 transaction, and it'll all be gone. Poof! Just like that, my last bit of currency is lost. You know, $10 can get you a lot, but can it buy me a place? $10. I'm walking to class and a notification pops up. What's the move? Party, Saturday, 11 to whenever. $10 at the door. 56 likes, so it must be a pretty big deal. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not antisocial. It's just the music, the people, the sweaty bodies, the air thick with that craggy stench of alcohol. I don't even drink. But it's either that or another Friday night at Clem's, so it's worth it. Right? 40 gumballs, and I'll get the chance to really interact with the Black community. Be privy to all they discuss. Ride with them. Let the group keep its original character, whatever that means. $10 and phones will light up with so-and-so added Tiffany to the group. No questions asked, right? I've got just enough money for that. So, $10. They told me that constitutionally, I'm a member of this community. When I applied, I checked the box, Black, African American, not to mention the melanin that I sport every day. So, Constitution says I fit the bill. I get the free food, the announcements, the strolling, and they say all that's free, but the inner circle costs. Active membership, the chance to be a true ally, the extra emails. I mean, it's not like I don't get enough for free, but I want to be part of that thread, you know? I want to vote. I think that's important, getting to pick the people that get to speak for me. $10 and a little bit of work can buy me a political stance. I told my sister about it. She said it sounds like a poll tax. I never thought of it that way. So all I have to do is pay my dues. So this is my last bit of change. $10. I had more before, but books. Y'all know how that goes. Grandma sends me 100 every time she saves up enough. I keep this 10 back. I keep it back because I know better than to spend God's money on 10 McChickens or something. But I just can't bring myself to stick it in an envelope and hand it in with the rest of the offerings. Surrendering the remnants of my wallet to the faithful minority? I'm already a minority. They say, train up a child in the way he should go. Well, I'm trained, but these ebony grounds are vast. And I know that Jesus died for my sins, but I still find myself having to ask, where do I go? Do not be conformed to the world, but the world is telling me that I could belong for this small sum of money. Oh God, help me. But wouldn't God want me to fit in? Wouldn't God want me to be part of this community? Wouldn't He? Is this what it costs to be black at this university? Because if that's the case, I'll take my 40 gumballs, 10 McChickens, and 2 footlongs, please.
I never expected to feel this way. You see, he's the answer to a prayer that hadn't yet been prayed when I met him. And it's not just because he's so tall that I never have to worry about being taller than him in heels. It's not just because his precious skin reminds me of everything good in this world. It's not just the way his shoulders fill out everything he wears. It's not just the way he commands a space. It's the way he holds me. Like something foreign yet familiar. Like something unbreakable yet fragile. It's the way he's my very best friend. The way he makes me want to feel every emotion to the fullest. The way he makes me want to take risks. Like when I let myself love him and when I decided to stop questioning and just let him love me. It's the way we've both seen each other's darkness and we're both still here. It's the way we learn from each other and respect and challenge each other. It's the way that even when things are bad, I'd rather have bad times with him than good times with someone else. It's the way that he tells me he loves to see me in my bonnet because he loves that our hair, the hair of the diaspora, requires special attention. But most of all, it's the way that every single day he makes the choice again and again to love me in a world that tells me that I don't deserve to be loved this way or in any way. I love the hell out of our love. It's so Shirley Caesar gospel, so Miles Davis jazz, so James Brown funky, so 90s rhythm and blues, so Whitley and Dwayne, it's just so authentic, so revolutionary, so light yet so heavy, so hard yet so easy, so resilient. It's just so damn black. And I love it.
How many dark-skinned guys have you even been with? He goes. Accusatory. Like he wasn't the one who asked me to chill in the first place. So I'm sitting here wondering what it must have felt like to prove himself wrong. Because, thanks to me, everyone on Earth has internalized biases against darker-skinned people except him. Thanks to me, he can go around saying his dick don't discriminate. All those white and light-skinned girls that most men prefer, they are nothing on him and his righteous, equality-based libido. Thanks to me, he can go about his day praising black women with the features he selects off the a la carte menu. He can put a skip in his steps since he knows he's not like all those others who fell to their knees for Freddie Gray, but then look confused at Ayanna Jones's name. He can live the rest of his life thanking black feminism for sending good, strong women to fight for him, so that he could fuck a black girl and shame her for what she wanted. I know who I get into bed with, and let me tell you something. I know who I won't be getting into bed with again.
The truth is, you must be very wary of those that tell you that they love you, but never correct you. And because I love my UVA brothers, there's some things I gotta say. I think about the organizing efforts after Martisa's attack. Of course his fraternity brothers were there, but they rarely show up to anything else unless it's a party, a probate, or a step show. Then there are those brothers that are only present when there's a TV camera or a news reporter present, but could give a rat's ass about what happens to or in the black community any other time of the year. If they cannot commune with us, laugh with us, share with us, they are certainly not going to bring themselves to fight for us, sisters. I think about the ways in which our UVA brothers have not made this a safe space for us, sisters. I think about fraternities. Many a party or a probate, we have been utterly objectified. We have been referred to as the pussy. We have been danced on sexually without our consent, and we are referred to as things that can be taken between the fight of egos between two men. Even outside of Greek life, my sisters are still disrespected. Brothers take pleasure in toying with sisters' emotions, calling us bitches and hoes. I have heard brothers say that they would never date a black woman or a woman darker than them because we all have attitudes and bring drama. I have heard brothers say that black women are mad when the attention isn't on them, and that's why we cry victim. I have been in meetings where brothers say that black women are doing better than black men, so we should just be content. I have seen brothers take credit for the work done by sisters with no remorse. And I say all of this in order to say, cut that shit out. We are not your doormats, your sexual playthings, or anything else you want to use us for. Brothers, we are your sisters. We are your keepers. We love you. We have always loved you. Now, when are you going to start showing us some love? It's time for some reciprocity.
In tambourines, speaking in tongues, and jubilee. There will be no holding hands and shared agreement. There will be no conflict resolution. There will only be distrust. You see, I don't hate white people. I hate whiteness. I hate how whiteness bleaches out its troubled past. I hate how blindly ignorant whiteness makes people. We all thought we knew the black experience, but you guessed it. We were wrong. Very wrong.
You thought you were just gonna skip out of here on some kumbaya shit. This ain't over. You need to start questioning everything that happens to you at the University of Virginia. Why are you here? What brought you here to this show? What brought you here to this school? As a student, you were sold an idea. Did they trick you, or did you get what you paid for?
You thought that I was about to sleep, that I was going to let my dreams just be dreams. Let me tell y'all something. A goal without a plan is nothing more than a dream. And I don't get tired. Also, actions speak louder than words. And while our words tonight have been loud, without the continual action of our community, you'll continue to be silenced by the discord that is the status quo.
You thought the curtains had closed. You thought the lights had dimmed. You thought the playbills had played out. But the world is a stage, and until now, you have been the actors. The poor players who strutted and fretted your hour of power. The question is, have we helped rewrite the script?
You thought that we all knew each other because we all have a little melanin. Because we are all acquainted with happiness. You thought we were a community, when in reality, all we've said is,
Nice to meet you.
We're here to wreak havoc.
But on who? On the administrators who will smile their pasty, patronizing smiles while petrified to give us their support. So they give us a space on the edge of these grounds so we do not disturb them with our protests, our passions, our impolite ire. Will we storm their pillared palaces with our shackles broken, backs unburdened, heads bloodied but unbowed?
We're here to wreak havoc.
But on who? Is it on the office of overseers, the house of fried chicken and free printing, the deans who tell us to work twice as hard to get half as much, but tell us our rights and repeat respectability on a never-ending record?
We're here to wreak havoc.
but on who? Is it on BS alliances, secret societies, the outspoken oligarchy who screams Black Lives Matter, but whisper, your voice doesn't? Is it on this farce of a family who shuns the mutes, the nonconformists, the so-called untenables, who refuse to fit a homogenized hovel in a small meeting room on grounds somehow not too far from those unmarked graves?
We're here to wreak havoc.
But on who? Time was we could protest without worrying about one of our own telling us no. Time was we could have cause that accepted dissent. Time was we could accept. But time was changed to time isn't. We don't know each other anymore. And we don't want to know, for fear we might lose what little identity we have left from when they stripped us of our tribes and suppressed us with their tether.
It has become too frightening to be who we are, powerful as that may be. It has become too frightening to be